We live on a blue planet. From space, Earth looks like a water world. 71% of our surface is covered in it. But here is the cruel irony, the water paradox. Out of all that water, 97% is saltwater, undrinkable and deadly if consumed in large amounts. Of the tiny amount left, most is locked away in glaciers. That leaves less than 1% of Earth's water actually available for us to drink. But what if we could unlock the other 97%? What if we could turn the ocean into an endless tap? It sounds like science fiction, but today, millions of people are already drinking the sea. This is the story of desalination. Welcome to Simple Things Surprising Histories. Let's dive in. You might think turning salt water into fresh water is modern technology, but humans have been obsessed with this idea for thousands of years. As far back as the 4th century BC, the Greek philosopher Aristotle noticed something fascinating. He realized when salt water evaporates, the steam that rises doesn't contain salt. If you catch that steam and cool it down, it turns back into pure, fresh water. Aristotle had essentially described the water cycle, nature's own desalination plant. The sun heats the ocean, water evaporates, leaves the salt behind, and falls as fresh rain. For centuries, sailors used crude versions of this on long voyages. They would boil seawater in metal pots and trap the steam in sponges or wool to squeeze out a few precious drops of drinking water. It was slow, energy-intensive, and barely kept them alive. We needed a better way. Today, we don't just boil water, we push it to its limit. There are two main ways we desalinate water now. The first is still based on Aristotle's idea, boiling water deeply and capturing the steam. This is called thermal desalination. But the real game changer is a process called reverse osmosis. Imagine a filter with holes so incredibly tiny that they're microscopic. In reverse osmosis, we take seawater and blast it against this membrane at massive pressure. Think of it like a bouncer at an exclusive club. The water molecules are small enough to slip through the velvet rope, but the salt molecules are too big and bulky. They get blocked. What comes out the other side is 99% pure, fresh water. It's a feat of engineering that forces nature to run backward. So, is this actually working in the real world? Absolutely. Take the Middle East, for example. In Saudi Arabia, they produce millions of cubic meters of desalinated water every single day. They are the world's largest producer. Now let's look at the UAE. The UAE is a desert nation with almost no natural groundwater and very little rain. Yet it supports a population of nearly 10 million people, lush gardens, and massive skyscrapers. How? They are drinking the Persian Gulf. The UAE produces roughly 14% of the world's total desalinated water. In fact, nearly all of the potable tap water in Dubai and Abu Dhabi comes from desalination plants. It is the bloodline of the nation. Without desalination, modern life in the UAE simply couldn't exist. Or look at Israel, a country that was once facing a catastrophic water crisis, now gets a huge portion of its domestic water supply directly from the Mediterranean Sea. For these nations, desalination isn't a luxury, it is a matter of national security and survival. They have effectively drought-proofed their civilizations. But if this technology is so amazing, why aren't we doing it everywhere? Why does California or Cape Town still have droughts? There are two catches: energy and brine. Pushing water through those microscopic filters requires a massive amount of electricity, making desalinated water expensive. Then there is the waste. For every liter of fresh water we make, we produce a liter of brine, a super salty, chemical-laden sludge. If we dump this back into the ocean incorrectly, it can sink to the bottom and suffocate marine life. Desalination is a miracle, but it's a miracle with a price tag. As we move towards solar-powered plants and better recycling of brine, that price is coming down. We're finally learning how to drink the ocean without destroying it. Thanks for watching Simple Things. If you enjoyed this history of water, hit that like button and subscribe for more surprising stories behind everyday things. See you next time.